Hello, it's Gareth here. I hope you are well. So today we're going to talk about to-do lists in this little video. I want to share with you some thoughts on it because I spend a lot of time on YouTube, okay, and one of the guys that comes up a lot is a fellow that talks about productivity. I have to be honest, there's a lot of people out there that seem just so switched on and kind of got all the stuff so slick. I just, at times I despair because, I can be very unorganized at times. And they can have this colour-coded this, and they use a sheet for this, and they use a document for that, and an app for this. And they all seem kind of, I don't know, really, really in control of the time. I've got to be honest, I find time management challenging, which is why I like to have simple things in place. If you're like me, and all this stuff sounds complicated, but you want to be more better with managing your time, I'll give you my way of doing it. And this has been something I've been doing for a long time now. It works for me. It's really, really simple. And you don't require multiple apps to do it. All you really need is a pen and paper, to be honest. You can do it on your phone, I will give you that, but you don't need an app for it. You can just use it on any kind of note-taking app you've got on your phone. What I do every day is I look at what I've got to do each day. We all have tasks to do each day. Some are obvious, the things we have to do, we know we've got to do. Others are things that come up maybe at short notice. They become things that become relatively important. But there's every single day you'll have a number of things you need to do. Not all of them are equal, okay? So it's nice to think you can get up on a morning, get to your to-do list, work through all your to-do list points and go at the end of the day all crossed out and you think, oh, this is wonderful. But that's not always the case. Sometimes you don't have the time, you've got too many things to do, but not all the things you need to do are equal. And what I mean by that is there'll always be a most important task in your day. The way I do it is I write everything I need to down I need to do every day, and then I go through each of the tasks and I give them a number between 1 and 5. 1 being it must be done, 5 means it's not that important, it'd be nice if it got done, and the numbers in between, obviously you can work that out. If there's a number 3 is more important than a number 4, a number 2 is not as important as a number 1, but it's more important than number 3, that kind of thing. So you've got a list then of things you need to do with numbers at the side of it, and always go after the number ones first. Now here's the thing. Even if you've got 2 number ones, these must get done today. There'll always be one task which is more important than the other. Even if you've got 2 number ones, one of those number ones will be most important. What you're really trying to work out is, what is your most important task that day? Which thing must you get done? Which make the biggest difference to you. You must get it done. Once you know what that is, I go after that first thing in the morning. When I get up, I've been to the gym, I'm feeling alive, I'm feeling fresh. I do it when I'm fresh. Because what people tend to do, and I used to do, is you tend to think, oh, it's number 1 because it's a big important task, it's an important job, and it's maybe not a job or a task you really want to do. So you kind of say, I'll do a few of the others first and I'll come back to that. The problem is, as your day goes on, your motivation dwindles, you get tireder, and it becomes harder to do the hard stuff later on in the day than it does first thing in the morning. So if you have the habit of getting up, working out what you've got to do each day, giving them a number and working out what your number ones are, and then which of those number ones is the most important task, and do that first. It's a really good way to start to build up your own resilience, because when you do things that you don't want to do, actually that's building up your ability to be more resilient, which is a really important habit to have, actually, or characteristic, I suppose you could call it. But it is a habit, because the more resilient you are, the more resilient you become. And just go after your most important task every day. But I wouldn't go into a day now not knowing what my most important task was. For instance, today I'm recording this one, is it Monday the 3rd of February. My most important task today was I had a client visit this morning. If I got nothing else done but that client visit, my day would have been okay. So once you know what your most important task is, the one thing that must get done that day, even if nothing else on your list gets done, the day's still been a success because you got your most important task done. What happens if you do it the other way around is you might get lots of little bitty things done, which, yeah, they're tasks that need to be done potentially, but a lot of them are things you didn't really need to do. They weren't mission critical. And the stuff that was mission critical, you kind of push into next day. And then all of a sudden, if it was difficult because you've left it there, it gets more difficult. And that goes on and on and on. Last week, I know how to do this and I'm quite good at it, but even last week, I let one particular task drift for 3 days. And by the time I came to do it, we were like, oh no, it was a real kind of scary monster by that time. I did get it done, and I had to remind myself of the fact that, if you'd have done it, as you said, most important task, get it done, it wouldn't have been as big as it became after 3 days leaving it. And I'm saying that because I know people watching these videos think I'm some kind of superstar that's got it all switched on and everything's perfect. I make mistakes. I do things not correct. I go against my own kind of advice and common sense sometimes. It's just how we are as human beings. I'm kind of trying to highlight with these videos and on this channel that, Personal development is a long journey. It's difficult at times, and we're not perfect. We've just got to keep pushing on, keep going forward, and recognising when we can make things better. So if you can get in the habit of just doing a to-do list, I write it down on a piece of paper. I've shown you these before. These little sticky notepads are great. Sometimes I do it on my phone, and the phone is quite a good way of doing it. But I find if you want to develop the habit of a list, start with a written list and then move on to the phone, not the other way around. And the reason I say that is when you try and develop a habit and you've got a phone which has got other things on that might distract you, TikTok or Instagram or watching me on YouTube, whatever it is, we can be distracted by these. There's a lot less distraction with a piece of paper and a pen. So when you've got the habit built with that and you know what you're doing, you can then move it onto your phone. It is more, if I'm honest, it's sometimes on your phone it's great because I use Google G Suite actually. So even if I've not got my phone, if I've got my iPad, I've still got my to-do list. If I haven't got my iPad on my phone, I've got my laptop, I've still got my to-do list. Wherever I'm in the world, I can access my to-do list. But for today, what I wanted to say was just getting the habit of making sure you know what you're doing every day. This is actually best done, I think, just before you go to sleep the previous night, because you plan your next day out. So when you're waking up, you don't have to think, what am I doing today? You can get straight into it. Work out what your tasks are, give them numbers 1 to 5. No matter how many number ones you've got, there'll always be one that's most important. Highlight, recognise what you want. You can put stars next to it. You can highlight it in orange, whatever you want to do, but make sure you are aware and it's clear what your most important task is, and do that first thing when you're at your freshest and when you've got your most motivation and inspiration. And then if you've done that, start working on the rest of your list in number order. Highest numbers first, or lowest number first. So numbers 1s, then the 2s, and the 3s, the 4s, and the 5s should be the final act of the day. There you go, have I covered that off? I think I have. How long have I been on there? 6 minutes and a few seconds. So listen, I hope you're enjoying these videos. If there's anything you'd particularly like me to talk about on these videos, just drop a comment underneath. Anything at all that's perceived to be personal development, self-improvement, whether it's time management, fitness, health. I'm just enjoying doing these videos at the moment and kind of stretching myself and kind of exercising my creative muscle. So it would be nice to know if there's something you want me to talk about, and I will very, very happily do a video for you. If you mention your name and you're comfortable for it to be mentioned, I'll even mention that I'm doing it for you as well. There you go. I'll give you a shout out to you and the other 7 people that watch my my videos. Listen, start working on a to-do list. Getting the habit of doing one, it'll make you a lot more efficient. It'll reduce your stress, make you a much more organised, efficient person. I will see you tomorrow for another video. Until then, take care.